Greetings and welcome to your weekly forecast, Thoth Tarot and Angel Message. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you are new here to the channel, please sit back, relax, have your tea, your coffee, whatever your beverage of choice is, or nothing at all. Water is a good choice also, by the way. I always encourage drink more water. So in any event, for returning friends, you know the drill. Sit back, relax. This is our chill out time, our safe space where we can just be encouraged and supported as we all move into our preferred realities, our desired spaces, shifting into being our most authentic selves and living our most authentic lives. So thank you so much for joining us. This is a timeless reading for the collective, regardless of whether it's a weekly forecast. You can find this video however you find it at any time, and it's going to be the right time for you to be getting this message. If you catch this in the middle of the week, you have the opportunity for a look back and see how well the card matched what was happening in your life. And you're always welcome to share any comments that you feel would be benefit to the collective, or things that you would like for us to be sending you specific energy of love and healing on as well. So, as I have said before, the only reason why I'm here is because you're here. So thank you so much for joining us. What are we looking at for the energy for this coming week? What have we got going? We're going to be pulling 3 cards. The first card is going to be for Monday, Tuesday, and the first part of Wednesday. Then the second card will be for the latter part of Wednesday and into Thursday and Friday. And then finally, we'll have a third card for the coming weekend. And we'll also pull an overarching angel message from Messages from Your Angels from Doreen Virtue, our beloved 2002 vintage deck, as well as with the Thoth Tarot. So let's get started. Let's find out. It's going to be a very interesting week. We haven't had a whole lot of dull weeks recently, have we? Those of us on this channel that are watching these videos, life is getting kind of exciting. Things are starting to, you're actually being able to see the shifts. You're actually being able to see how you are now aligning into the future that you always wanted, you always dreamed of. It's slowly unfolding like the petals of a flower, like the lotus coming up out of the mud, out of the muck of our previous histories, right? And moving into this illuminated future that we have been working so hard for. So here we go. What are we looking at for the first part of the week, for Monday, Tuesday, and the first part of Wednesday? Okay, we've got the Ten of Cups representing satiety. Satiety. It is what it is. You guys can read it. Seeking the path of inner perfection. Remembering cups are emotion. Okay, they are the water element. So this is the emotional satisfaction in intellectual ideals. It is optimistic, confident. You have warm feelings. It's the longing for eternity and a slow ending. The power to enjoy the extreme and release what no longer serves you. This card represents the end of a cycle or process and completes the emotional development process. So whatever you've been working through recently, there's been a lot of emotional investment in it, and you're coming to the end of this cycle. Doesn't mean things die, simply means things evolve, things move forward. You're stepping up that level. You're not running around in circles. You're moving up a spiral, and you've graduated to the next level. So congratulations. Congratulations on your graduation. That is awesome. This is the infinite desire of what takes us. The desire to unite with that which is eternal and to seek the inner truth. It's the hunt for eternal values that no longer satisfy us because we experience so much that we just want what we cannot have and cannot be happy with what we receive. But if we now realize that deep desire cannot be fulfilled on earth, we have come to understand that this desire is the power that leads us to escape from that divine direction. In career, the Ten of Cups signifies that we have gone through a good time, but have overcome its triumph at the end. We are done. We're ready to move on. Development is no longer strong. We're not growing in this situation, in this position. So we are encouraged to feel gratitude for what we have achieved while looking ahead to the upcoming journey and gradually approaching new tasks. In relationships, the Ten of Cups represents that despite all the peacefulness outside, inner strength is gathering forces to create new intensity. We have been talking about this repeatedly in these weekly readings, that especially in our personal relationships, this is a time of growth, of expansion. As I'm uploading this video, we're coming into the holidays at the end of the year in the Northern Hemisphere, which is a time of endings as well. But we know it can be stressful on relationships. All times in the calendar year can be stressful on relationships. Life can be stressful on relationships. Let's just be honest, right? But this card represents, this is the end of the dream of the Sleeping Beauty, okay? Your prince or princess has arrived, and you're ready to begin the next phase of your combined journey together. Okay, so this can mean a whole lot of different things depending on what aspect you're looking at it for the Ten of Cups. But at the beginning of the week, for Monday, Tuesday, and the first part of Wednesday, it's going to be a very strong emotional time. You're going to feel full up, almost fed up with a situation or a circumstance, a part of your environment, maybe something about you physically. You may be looking at all those holiday meals and treats and desserts and just be sitting there going, no more cups, my cup is overflowed. I'm good for the moment. You know, satiety can mean different things, but it simply means being saturated. Okay, you may have been just feeling saturated emotionally for the first part of the week, for Monday, Tuesday, and the first part of Wednesday. So don't let all of this emotional overwhelm you. Okay, don't let it drown you. All right, you are allowed to take an opportunity to simply just step back and say, I am grateful for all of this. I am grateful for what is even coming to me that's even more abundant, that's even more successful, that's even more fruitful, that's even more advantageous for me and for my family, for my friends, for my business, for me personally, in terms of physically health and strength. Okay, you may be feeling that you've plateaued at some points and you're ready for the next chapter. That's perfect. That is exactly what is supposed to happen. You are spot on in your path. Okay, there's going to be places where things level out, your exuberance kind of wanes, okay, and that's okay. Take this opportunity to just acknowledge how amazing everything has been for the first part of the week, for Monday, Tuesday, and the first part of Wednesday. What are we looking at for the latter part of Wednesday and into Thursday and Friday? Okay, we've got the Eight of Wands representing swiftness. And we know in the traditional tarot, the Rider-Waite, or Smith-Waite, these can oftentimes be just these 8 wands just going from left to right, from up to down, this energy just bam coming through. It used to be considered Cupid's arrows and had a very strong romantic connotation as well. But in the Thoth tarot, the Eight of Wands represents swiftness, Mercury, Hermes. This is ideas, actions, and communication, fast communication. Even though it's wands, what has happened with these wands is that they have become electric. So they've almost transmitted themselves or transformed themselves from passion, from fire, into air, into knowledge, into information. Okay, this card represents knowledge, progress, development in new ways of thinking and or implementing old goals, solving problems, flexibility, expandability, intellectual capacity, unexpected motivation. and mental activity. So even though these are wands, these feel very air. They don't feel fire, they feel air. And for those of you that have always felt that the wands represented air and the swords represented fire, congratulations, you're right. At least in this instance, okay? But we see here 8 rods or 8 wands have turned themselves into neural oscillations. They stem from the struggle for freedom, which is inherent in all things related to thought. The urge to understand the true process of all things. Crowley talked about these being sticks turned into electrical sparks, supporting or even creating matter with their vibrating energy. And we know that now we understand that the atomic structure of our 3D reality, our physical reality, the couch or chair that we are sitting on, the table in front of us, the computer or laptop or phone that we've got that we're looking at, all of those are mostly air. They're mostly space, empty space, with a whole bunch of energetic energy vibrations zipping around that are creating that physical structure. We know this now, and we understand how it affects us on a quantum level. But this card represents the energy at the speed of light. Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius, also symbolizing the phenomenon of thinking, memory formation. This rapid exchange of information operates through electrical impulses, the chemical transmitters inside the neurons of the brain. Crowley links this card to the phenomena of speed, light, and electricity. Mercury governing the 8 of Wands, and thus demonstrates development and progress. So where before at the beginning of the week, we're in full up mode. We're emotionally over it. We're over it. We're ready to move on. At the middle of the week and towards the end of the week, bam, there's your answer. All of this new motivation, new information, new conversations, new communications, new connections being made between people that you didn't meet before that are going to send you in directions that you didn't even consider before. And you're going to take off. You are flying at this point. Okay? This card can show us unexpected ideas and inspiring lightning rays that dissipate our previous thinking habits, from which we get many possible solutions. We just do not notice the connection between them. At that time, it would signal a period in which we should take advantage to overcome the limitations of our inherent concepts and to reach out to new intellectual horizons, thinking outside the box. In career, the release of the fire element of the wands through thinking, which is Mercury, means we are flooded with ideas. At the same time, our mission is to put them into unity, to create and implement them, to be successful by doing new things, having new tasks and new goals, and receiving recognition for that. There are promotions that are waiting for you in your career. If you take advantage of these new ideas that are coming into your mind, start speaking up in those meetings, start sending out those texts. What do you think about this? I just had this idea for that. What do you think? Start having those communications in relationships. The 8 of Wands is a symbol of the passionate flyer when it flickers in a desire to get what you want. Therefore, this card can represent periods of affection, abundance, and enthusiasm. However, it can also signal solutions on how to handle old conflicts and immediate difficulties. So in relationships, in career, in finance, you have a whole bunch of new information, new communications, new connections that are coming to you inside as well as outside. What is within will be reflected in the without. Okay, so from the beginning of the week with this very strong emotional energy of the 10 of Cups, feeling fulfilled, but knowing there's something more, knowing there's something else, something new, something waiting outside on the other side. And then understanding, getting that understanding, getting that information at the latter part of the week that takes that emotional satiety and turns it into new motivation that is swift moving. What do we got for the weekend after all of this very, very expansive energy? Okay, we have the Magus. Oh gosh, Major Arcana does not surprise me. So the Magus represents resolution, self-made, dynamic, the power of motivation, volition, full of energy, vigor. Just when you look at the Magus in the center here, we see a youthful, relaxed character who has great dexterity. He's balancing on the tip of a toe on the mountain of the subconscious and juggling various symbols floating around him. His two ankles are surrounded by a pair of gigantic wings, which is the symbol of crystal, balancing the young man in an exaggerated and passionate posture. But down underneath, a human ape is climbing up from the land below. A network of golden rays fills this image and disappears into the background, but behind the new character is an open triangular space, revealing an imagination beyond rational thinking. On this figure's head is a picture of two snakes intertwined like a turban, growing into the winged symbol, the Eye of Horus. And these highlight a dove in the middle, which is the symbol of the sacred soul. The Magus is an active, fulfilling, striving energy for empowering, and he has extraordinary vitality. Where the Fool, which is card 0 in the Major Arcana, the card just before this, where the Fool is blind, the Magus can see his next steps. He knows what he wants, and this allows him to achieve every goal. So it's literally like you are taking this energy from the beginning of the week with all of this emotions, overwhelm, being done, completing certain cycles, and seeing that there's something more ahead. From the 8 of Wands moving into that electrical, motivated knowledge and information energy, the Magus makes it real. Here, now. He gets what he wants because he knows how to focus his energies. The obvious intention brings more success because we basically act. We don't deal or stumble from one experience to another. This is the time for us to push with clear curiosity and determination ahead, and to enter into unknown areas. This may imply new areas of interest, as well as new areas of life. You may find that you have a sudden desire to learn how to cook, or to learn how to cook a certain kind of food, or to bake a certain kind of thing. Okay? You may decide it's time, you wanted to learn that language all this time, and you're finally going to do it. There may be a variety of things where you find yourself suddenly intensely driven towards, pushed into almost, okay? In the professional side, the Magus shows us that we can begin to start to become aware of our persuasive powers and to use them intentionally, to speak up at those meetings. It allows us to overcome tests, to master challenges, and to influence the course of events effectively. In the direction of this energy, we can succeed in our finances, gain promotion, and complete professional projects. Yes, exactly. Successful action means using the outside intention, our actions, what we are consciously intending to do to bring inner strength into areas that can develop significantly and advantageously. In our personal relationships, the Magus implies a period of strong charm and intense attraction. Also, this is not a formidable desire to reach the goal, but rather it's an easy, almost obvious confidence in your own strength and ability, which can only be given in the harmony of being aware and conscious of your unconscious will. There is great power here The Magus accepts himself and appeals to the love of people all around him because of his honesty and openness. This is you living as your authentic self, living your authentic life. This is you right here, right now. And you have this option to do this, to turn this energy on, just like flicking on a light switch, by simply intending to do so now at this moment. Who is our angel that's going to be watching over us after all of this wonderful, expansive, amazing energy for this week? Who do we have? Angel Patience. Now is the time to learn, study, and gather information. Enjoy being a student because in the future, you will synthesize your knowledge into action. So if you begin to feel overwhelmed with the emotional flood at the beginning of the week, and with all of the information and conversations resulting from all of that, just breathe. And remember that patience is and will always be available to you if you reach out to her. And the only thing you have to do is just close your eyes, breathe, relax into it. Whatever is happening, relax into it. Stop fighting, relax into it. Just let it wash over you like waves of energy, emotion, information. It's all waves, it's all vibration, it's all energy and motion. Your emotions, just relax into it and let it flow over and through you, around you. And when everything settles, your path will be clear before you once again. So that's our reading for the week. Wow, that was a very, very interesting little ending there. I don't know where that came from, but yes. So here's our snapshot of the week. We start out with the Ten of Cups representing satiety, feeling fed up, not like out of sorts fed up, but just done, ready to move on, ready to go on, ready to go to the next level. And then moving right into that energy of vitality, of motivation, as you see you have been successful in the past. You see you have accomplished what you set out to do in the past. And those successes, those accomplishments are the steps that are moving you up to the next level. And the Magus is you living that elevated life, living that elevated, authentic life, living your most elevated, authentic self. You are reminded of it from moment to moment. There are things that are going to happen in your daily experiences now, this week, that are going to be reminding you of these cards, that are going to be reminding you of what you've heard in this video and what you've seen. And they're going to be reminding you, A, you're never alone on this path. You're never walking alone here. We are with you. The collective is with you. All of your ancestors, your spirit team, God, the universe, source, all of that is with you always. And you have access to it as soon as you think of it. And you're going to think of it. Things are going to remind you of it throughout the week. It's going to be an amazing week. I can't wait to see what happens, how this all develops. Feel free to leave comments later on in the week if you want to, about how things have been going, things that have moved, things that you finished up at the beginning of the week, and new projects that just opened up wide for you at the end of the week, and how you stepped into that power. I love hearing those stories. It makes my heart smile. You make my heart smile. I love you. If you haven't heard that recently, you can't say it anymore because I just said it to you. I love you. You are amazing. You have got an amazing, fantastic week ahead of you. This is so exciting. I can't wait. I love you. Have the most amazing, fantastic week. Namaste and ciao for now.